interviewed all the candidates that we trimmed it down to 4. Interviewed the 2 that made the final 2, and we've got a preferred candidate, and we're just going through the process now of just trying to negotiate a deal with the candidate. So very, very, very positive. I would have hoped to have been kind of sat here to give you an exclusive, JD, but obviously with the time difference and things like that, it's just a little bit difficult. But we came to that decision yesterday as a club, as a board. I think it was important that I put the 2 in front of in the board, and both presented very, very well. And it's what I would say. It's been harder than I thought. It's been a real tough decision, and a couple of real positive chats over the last 24, 48 hours. So we're in a position, JD, where we've got a preferred candidate. I will let that person know, and chat to the agent and try and thrash out a deal.
Have you got a timescale for the announcement?
Probably be early next week, JD. Hopefully we can get everything tied up this weekend, and we'll look at the start of next week. So real positive. Some more positive news coming out of the club. I've been really impressed with all the candidates that we've had. I touched right at the start that we got over 20 applicants, and some really, really good UK and overseas applicants. And I'm just really excited. I'm really excited just listening to the coaches and the vision and how they can get this town buzzing again, and get the new team in a position to be competing next year.
If you say it's been harder than you anticipated, is it the person that maybe 10 days ago you said to us you wanted?
Oh, you'll have to refresh me on that one, mate. I think I've mentioned quite a few. I've mentioned quite a few names. Obviously Ryan Carr. Someone like Jimmy Lenihan. We've had a lot of really, really good. Ian Watson. A lot of good applicants that have come forward. And I put those 2 after the interviews. Myself and Danny Wilson interviewed the guys Monday, Tuesday. We then had a long discussion with the board, and we narrowed that 4 down to 2. And I think they both presented very, very well. And I'm just delighted. It's another big move for us. It's a massive signing for the club, and I'm excited about the guy that's going to be leading us in 2026.
If that preferred candidate says yes and you agree over the weekend, when would you expect them to get boots on the ground over here?
Yeah, well, they've obviously got things to tie up back home. So it'll be the end of the season, but they'll fully expect the head coach to be in for the start of the pre-season, if not, probably 2-3 weeks before. But I'm excited, mate. I said this was going to be the biggest decision I'll make as a director of rugby at Castleford Tigers, and I'm excited. I know the fans will be excited, and it'd been great to announce it here today. But we've just got a few things to cross off before over the weekend, and some more chats, and then try and thrash out a deal, and then hopefully get that announced early next week.
Is it a relief at the same time for you to get this all done?
Yeah. Well, I kind of always knew that deep down that I'd probably end up having to do it till the end of the year. But I'm just relieved that it's one of the 3-4 candidates that I identified way back when, and that's real positive. Yeah, it's a relief, mate. It's a relief, and it's one that it's a decision that we've taken as time with it. And like I said, it's been very difficult these last 24, 48 hours to to get to that decision. But it was really important that I put the applicants in front of the board, and like I said, hopefully that this gets sorted over the weekend.
We'll look forward to next week.
Yeah, I can't wait neither.
Yeah, I'm sure you can't. There's a game before then, of course. It's what do you want to see from your team in this game? Obviously, that many games left in this season, but what do you want to see against Leeds?
Well, just that same fight that we had last week, JD. I thought collectively that first 40 minutes, it's probably the best I've seen us defend over the time that I've been here at the club. We were put under a hell of a lot of pressure, and we were camped down in his own end, but we just kept coming up with the right decisions defensively. So just that, that's just that kind of effort. I thought Alex Mellor led that through his actions, with his kick chase and his kick sprints, and I've been really pleased with the performances of Alex and his leadership. But listen, we're under no illusions. We're coming up against the top 4 side. I thought they were outstanding against Lee. There was very little in that game. That game felt like a playoff game, didn't it? And they're going to be there or thereabouts. They can challenge Wigan. They can challenge OKR, and they're a fantastic side. And we know how tough a game it's going to be. But on the flip side, it's a derby game, and we spoke a hell of a lot this week about the importance of derbies and the importance of effort levels and just controlling that emotion. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can produce. The last time we played at home, we got a win against Warrington. So yeah, we know what we've got to do. And like I said, we're under no illusion how difficult a task it is, but I'll back these boys to the hilt. They keep giving me every last bit of energy that they've got, and I'm really looking forward to see what Saturday looks like.
How different could the 17 look on Saturday?
Yeah, potentially a little bit different. We've had a good few days of high intense training. The weather obviously helps, doesn't it? And the energy levels have gone up in training. There's a lot of excitement. But yeah, listen, some people like Jensen Windley will get another opportunity this week. I thought it was fantastic, and I'm really delighted that we've got him here for the next 5 years. He's a fantastic young talent. And commending him after the game. That's the first time he's played a game at fullback in first team, and we planned all week to play him in the halves, and obviously losing Fletcher so late in the team run had a massive effect. But but we spoke to Jensen. This is another step up. You're coming up against somebody like Jake Connor that's no doubt got a few tricks up his sleeve, and he's got to be ready for those 40-20s. It's only a small pitch. So yeah, the team may look a little bit different, and I'm just excited about seeing Liam Horn back next week and Jerry Simbican back next week. We've got to try and keep him on the field, but we should have a few bodies back next week for that Catalan trip.
Just lastly for me, Alfie Lindsay, I think, is in the squad as well, isn't he? How close is he potentially to making a Super League debut? And just give us your thoughts on Elliot Wallis coming back for now. Yeah,
well, firstly, young Alfie, I just want to see him. I want to see him play. I want to see him play against men. He's trained really well. He's done really. He played in the Yorkshire Lancashire game the other week, and mate, he'll get an opportunity, JD, between now and the end of the season. I think that's really important that he gets in and around the first team squad and gets some game time. I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops under the new coach, and everything I've seen about him is work ethic and the way he carries himself. I've been really impressed with the young kid. And in terms of Elliot, he's probably. It was a no-brainer really for us. We lost Josh Hodgson at the weekend, a fractured thumb. So we're literally down to, bare minimum in terms of outside backs. Josh has had an operation on that thumb. So he's another of a long list of outside backs that are missing for us, which is a shame for Josh because he obviously came back last week. And that's his first game in a long time for us. So it's looking it's going to be a season long for Josh Hodgson. But in terms of Elliot, I just thought it was a no-brainer, and big thanks to Huddersfield for allowing us to bring him in. He's obviously been here before. He's still a young kid, and he knows what we're all about. I've been really impressed with the way he has applied himself in training, and just an easy one for me. We're literally down to bare bones in the outside backs, and until we get some guys back, then we're going to be in the same position for at least the next 2-3 weeks until people like Zach Seeney, Will Tate, those kind of guys are fit and ready to go.
Super. Thank you, my friends.
Thanks,
all
JD.
best for Saturday. I'll pass you over to everyone else.
Thanks, mate.
Just on Elliot Wallis, is there a chance of him being able to play his way into a deal with you for next year, or is it just a short-term thing as it stands?
Well, as it stands, it's a short-term fix. But like everybody, mate, these everybody's playing for contracts for 2026. So everybody's on notice, and they all know that, and we know that everybody knows Elliot's come in. He's an outstanding young kid. He's got a great physique. He carries the ball strong. So, mate, you never say never. But he's actually contracted for another year, I think, at Huddersfield Giants. But we'll just see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Aaron here, he's trained well. He'll play this weekend, and I for one are looking forward to seeing him play.
You said last week you were asked, I think, by Sky that had anyone kind of changed your mind after that performance, and you said not really. Is there still time for some of these lads who maybe are playing for the future to change your mind in this last 6 weeks?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've said it many times. None of us are happy where we're at. I'm frustrated. I know the players are frustrated, but we need to see some actions. We need to see some actions out on the field, and if we continually keep getting those, mediocre performances, then if you're one of those guys that keeps performing like that, then you may see yourself somewhere else next year. So I just think it's a good opportunity these next 6 weeks for individuals to really, really step up and prove to me and the board and the town that they want to be here, and they're willing to fight. They're willing to fight for every inch, every yard of that rugby field and put in the effort, and that's all anybody wants to see. That's all I want to see. That's all the fans want to see. And that's all this game's all about, isn't it? Effort. And if the effort levels are high, then you've got a hell of a chance of staying in the team the following week.
And I guess, Saturday evening, summertime, big crowd, Leeds at home. If you can't kind of get up for those occasions, you're probably in the wrong job, aren't you?
Well, we all have to give up, mate. Yeah, as a player, you used to love playing in derby games for Hull, OKR, they're massive, aren't they? They're massive. Big Wakefield, Castleford, Castleford, Leeds. The huge games for the players and huge games for the town, and we want to send our fans home happy this weekend, and fingers crossed we can do that, Aaron.